Voila, we're here. I'm buying things for my Christmas boxes which I make myself. So my first buy was some cards to put the chocolates on or to make the boxes. So I'll show you one of those. This one is a cut edge card and it's 9-inch. That's what I need for my work. I didn't know cake cards meant that, but what I didn't know is that it's that flimsy. So I cannot use that for my box making. I can only use that for the chocolate with the greaseproof on top. Because these are the cards, the boxes I made last year with rigid card. That's a prime example of last year's thing. So you can feel this is very strong. So it needs to have sustenance. And it's got card on the edge as well. Or I had the other model of boxes which you've not seen on the website. I only did that as an experiment. The box like this, in fact there's a circle that's not been used there, with another of these thin cards and with a lid on top. But this was a bit too small because I've used two different, an 8-inch base and a 9-inch, or maybe a 9 and a 10. So these are the cards I was using last year. These 0.5 millimeters or 0.3, something like that. Well, I got them from all over the place because I got in a bit late with it. So some are from the range, some are from online, some are from home care or whatever it's called. So I didn't have enough of that, so I had to order some more, which is where I have ordered then. The first one to come is this very flimsy, which is fine as a presentation board, even though it will make folding the chocolate in a little bit more difficult. But then I ordered this, well, I didn't order this, I ordered some 12 millimeter or something like that, no, I can't remember, something perfect, in a bulk offer, 50 for, I think, £36, which I thought great. Of course I got a refund. The company said, sorry, we've sold out, we've refunded you. So in a rush, because I'm panicking, it's August and I should have done my boxes and my drawings, I've not done any of them. I thought I've got to order some more. So the only things they had in stock in 9-inch, because 9-inch is a size in cake things that is very unusual, well, more unusual generally than a 10 or an 8. And it was £43, so I thought, oh, it's great because it will be just a bit thicker than my original ones. But it arrived today and it's 12 millimeters. It's so thick. So what am I to do with this? So before I thought, let's make a video out of this mess. So this makes it at about £1 each drum, which then I've got to do the work. So it's more than I wanted to spend because it's thicker and it's going to make my job more difficult. So I had to choose some crappy fabrics that I really dislike because I can't use any of my good fabrics to try things, for experiments. I have to use something I really dislike. So this is Jonelle multicolor or something, watercolor or something like that. From apparently John Lewis old range. So I've cut a vague circle to see where we're going to go, how it's going to sew with this enormously thick thing under it. It might take a couple of seams to do that. I'm speaking too fast, aren't I? Because I don't want to take too much of your time, nor of mine, because I've got to go and melt some chocolates now. So I'll do first an easy seam around to see. Yes, because it's thick, I've got to keep pressing it down. But so it doesn't make too many wrinkles. I hate it when I'm doing it a bit too close. Hold on. The what I was doing last year was to put it right to a good side and then pushing it when I was halfway through the seam. Now you see my sewing area as what it is normally when I'm not working on it. So there we are, I've nearly finished the circle. So now I can push that away. And go back closer to the cake drum. I could have actually, instead of doing that, I've done it wrong there. I should have left more here. We can do that. I could really sew with a zip foot. But the problem with
what's a zip foot?
What's a zip foot? A zip foot is well, the original was this one.
Oh, I see, it's like one side.
Yeah, or this one, which
Really
is
narrow.
super narrow. This one doesn't press the fabric as well, but it gets even closer to the zip.
Mm-hmm.
But I rarely use those because, you know, it takes at least 15 seconds to change it. I know, I can't be bothered. I think time is money. 15 seconds, no, and that's a leather one. A leather foot, I sometimes use that if I'm sewing plastic or rubber, something like that. And that's an invisible zip foot. I've still not understood how to do invisible zips. They're just too much hassle.
It's a bit of a job doing them if you can't see them.
Yes, you can just about see the little thing. It's for ladies' dresses. Gentlemen don't get the joy of having invisible zips, unfortunately, on their garments. It's reserved for ladies, sorry. So I'm not using a zip foot, I could. So I get as close as possible. So we've got this, and now, oh no, it's run out of bobbin. That's because I was using an end of bobbin the other day. Now, because you're here, and you're keen to see how else I would work, wouldn't you? So I haven't got the card to put in it. I would demonstrate to cut a little bit more of something. You can see this is a real mess at the moment. It's not normally like that. You've caught me unawares. I have to hide my homeopathy book, my homework, Hahnemann, Samuel Azuman, Organon of Medicine with Explanations by Joseph Reeves. A very good book. Absolutely exciting. So this is a fabric I really can use for anything. That can be my crappy fabric. So I need to work out how long do I need. Now somewhere, oh no, don't look over there, that's my bin which I haven't emptied yet. I was going to look, I had the measurements from last year's boxes. Somewhere in my paperwork. Oh, hooray, I think I found it. This is my office. So we've got 78, 25 wide. Now have we got 25 wide? Let's measure this. Well, not quite 25 because I had used some 10 inches last year, which was about 25. So we say, so 78. So 78 centimeters. Where's my dressmaking ruler? It's probably fallen in a corner somewhere. Oh no, you've not found it, have you? Magic. Because I've got this one which doesn't quite go to 78. So let's see if by chance this would be 78, the length or the width of this fabric. Yes, it is. It's more than 78. So I can easily cut a piece of that. But because I need to put a string through it and a little entrance for the card, which is going to go around to keep the box up, which card I haven't got at the moment because I've not been to the shop where they sell it. It's got to be a special card, not too thick, otherwise it breaks. I've had some like that. And it's not too thin, otherwise it doesn't hold it up. So I'm going to do it, let's do one, let's just cut a random piece. That's what we do when we are a seamstress who's been to Southall, where they cut fabric just with a nick like that, rather than cut them very politely with scissors, knit like that. Yeah, not so neat really. I've had some terrible cuts from the shop. So what I was going to do here is this. I think I can do it like this. No, do it like this. Cut it in, fold it. So there's a Jonelle Dura Colors, that's it, 100% cotton though, and it's made in England, so it's got some good points, that fabric, except it's, in my taste, very
dated.
Well, I don't like the colour mix in it. I wouldn't mind it. I don't mind the dating. I don't like the way they've got little dots here, like weird dots, and then they've got all these fat flowers with no definition. But someone will love this fabric, so I don't want to make them sad by saying it's the most ugly fabric I've ever seen, because I've seen worse. So if you really like it, you can post a comment under this video. Now what I'm going to do, or not, I could do it now, pre-do it. Now this is going to be a tall box. Yes, pre-do it. Like that I can put a string in it. A string or, something else. A ribbon. You're not checking your social media, are you? To check how many viewers there are on these videos that we've not uploaded yet. Or you're looking at the fabric to see how much it is per meter, and you'll tell me that it's actually £235 vintage fabric from John Louis Jonelle.
£235.37 a metre.
Oh my god. And I'm there wasting it on boxes saying it's so ugly. Now I don't really need to carry on too long with that, because I will need to cut the fabric and then make a hem to join to the other side. So we leave it here for now. Oh no! Oh no, naughty, naughty! Look, this has broken, it does happen. What's the matter with you? It's had a bit of dust in there. Sometimes a little bit of dust is enough to break the thread. see, in 15 seconds it's taken me to notice I've done all this work for nothing. I could have used my zip foot, which I don't need anymore because this is not a zip area or very small hem. Let's do something hard like an edge. So we're back where we finished. There we are. Stop there. Now, oh my God, this is so exciting. So what we have here is this. So now I'm going to get this around here. What I will have to do after is make a channel. Which I suppose I could do that to put a card in afterwards so it's already done. Yes, let's do the channel first.
How do you know where it needs to go?
Well, I know that I'm leaving about a small inch there to sew there. My channel will need to be about 2 inches, so I'll do it around there. So now to mark that, I could do with a mark on my machine table, couldn't I? Something like some chalk and a line.
Masking tape.
Yes, masking tape would be the best, of course. You've got the IQ, of course, yes. In the bottom drawer. Thank you very much. Oh, look that, it's matching. You couldn't get posher than that, could you? So I had said an inch left and then 2 inch, so it will go around here. Now I'm not getting my spirit level out or calculating whether it really is 90 degrees. I'll take it as this will do. So my channel will be there and then whatever, yeah, that will be fine. Last year my boxes had a piece of gold there and, well, like that one. This one doesn't have gold, this one. Pink one, it was a one piece.
It's
But I
a
bought
cheap
so-
one, that one.
No, it's a better one because it was thick fabric, whereas the other fabric I bought was thin, so it needed something else around. Maybe I hadn't lined it, I'm not sure. This one is lined. Very posh, this one. How many minutes have we done now?
235.
No, not 235 minutes. We've only been doing 15 minutes.
1845.
Oh, good. So that's to calculate in a rush.
That was including 5 minutes, 6 minutes of talk at the beginning.
Oh, yes, of course. How long it takes to make a box? Because this will be a very basic. Just do it again. Oh, this is called Carmen, you know. I could really see that with the opera. Carmen. I would have actually imagined that Carmen would be a bright red, like a sort of Spanish type looking idea. Not pastels. Oh, I would have 2 words to say to John Lewis, and then they would say back to me, look at me with up their noses and said, "Who the hell are you to give us that sort of feedback? You know nothing. We've been established since 1855 and we know what Carmen should look like." And I would say, "Well, you cannot have my chocolates. They're too good for Carmen." and then that would be it, and we wouldn't be good friends. So if I wanted to be good friends with John Lewis, I would have to go and see them and say, look at this gorgeous fabric, what I made out of your vintage fabric. Would you like it in your John Lewis museum? And then they would say, yes, please, we'll have 10. And then I would charge them £250. Oh, Etsy.com, that's a bit different, but no, it's the same one, in
Yeah,
red.
it's two different colours because that's two.
Oh, I show the viewer, look. Let's show
It's
the
not
viewer.
quite the same.
That's a lot nicer, with bright red.
Is it the same pattern though?
It's got all the silly little dots, all this business there. It's got figs and pears and grapes, whereas this has grapes, pears, and something else here, which I can't tell what it is. It's better at a distance, this fabric, really. Not too good close to. Right, let's carry on with my box.
So, vintage 1970s.
Oh, vintage! There we are. And how much is it a meter, please?
$12.95.
Only for vintage? That's cheap. See, nobody likes
Australian dollars.
Yes, that's still just the same as. Is it the same as the pound, like £12?
No idea.
I should know. I've been to Australia in 1975. Now this is more difficult because it's a bit close and it's trying to wrinkle. Yeah, it's wrinkling. That's what it is. Why the thick boards are not so good. Because if I don't wrinkle, I end up going on the edge, like it wants to go in a triangle. So I have to struggle it around the corners. Ah, it stops there. Yeah, I've done a wrinkle there. What do you call it in English? When you do a loop of fabric that shouldn't be there. A pleat.
Sounds like a technical millinery term.
A what?
Technical millinery term.
I don't know, but my thread's broken. Yeah, it's something that shouldn't be there. You see that thing there. That's not good dressmaking, the skill that is. Well, no, it's excellent, it's artistic. It's not good if you're doing tailoring, that's it. But since I'm not doing chocolate tailoring, I'm only doing chocolat couture. I can't believe it, another chocolatier called this chocolate couture. He wasn't even French. And I thought, do you know what you're talking about? Do you know what couture is? It's not bloody sewing chocolate, is it?
Who was that?
I don't know, I found it on Google when I was looking up chocolatiers somewhere. But I thought that's cheeky of them. They're not even sewing their boxes or anything. I can call myself chocolat couture because I'm sewing.
Does it just mean fashion? No, it doesn't, does it?
It's more specific than that.
Yeah, it's couture is
It's
specific
just cutting.
to seams dressing and that, yes. So generally, I think the way they are trying to use it is to sound like haute couture. But couture in general is just sewing. As in, my mother used to do sewing for herself. That's called couture. It's not called haute couture. It's not called basse couture. It's just couture non-stop. So now I'm getting to the end of the circle. So instead of rambling on about all the chocolatiers using words that...
It is specifically clothing, handmade clothing.
Yeah, it's clothing, yeah. Probably they saw my website, thought it would look nice, and they thought they call it that too.
Without knowing, just copying.
Without knowing there's a little R and what's it? Copyright and C with a little circle after the word couture on my website. So we're here. I need to cut around here. Ah, no, I can't do that. I have to cut it with scissors. I can't do the south hole cut there because I've got the seams in the way. So I've got this here, I do a little hem there like that, so it's neat on this end. So we've got, wow, look at that. That may be a vintage, but it's really stiff. I probably wouldn't need card for that, really. And I've done all this sewing here. But that's way too big. That's for one of their Italian cakes. You know those panna cotte or something. Panettone. Yeah, no, panforte, something else. So is panna cotta is cheese, isn't it? That's like a top hat.
Someone with a very big head.
Yeah. Like one of these football hats. You know they've got football hats that look a bit like that. I think they're red. Like really big round. I've been to a football match once.
Really?
Yeah, I was busy looking at the hats. I couldn't understand why they were all running after the ball. If it was me, I would just nick the ball and make a runner with it, like go by the main door and disappear. Nobody's seen me with the ball again. So that's it. I need to do a seam here now. I leave that open just for the sake of putting the when I've got the cards through it, for the sake of completion. Even though it's vintage, very stiff and very nice looking fabric once it's sewn on. Good quality, that's something I give them, it's very good quality. Now this is undone here, so I'll give a little cut, not cut, so to see. So now we've got this, and now what do we do? Now we have to sew it a bit together. Oh, that's not straight. Who's done this? They need a sack. Look. Goes here, up here, and then straight down there. I don't know, nothing to do with me. Anyway, let's sew that straight.
This is a chocolate bucket, is it? For just putting the chocolates in loose.
Yes. That's an excellent bucket. Imagine that would be filled in chocolate. So I'll sew that up to the place with the card in. So then I've got parts of my box. So, and now we've got this here, which is way too tight, so we need to clip a bit. That's like around the collar and around the darts. For those who know about dressmaking, we need to give in a bit so it doesn't roll onto itself like this. For this I could have got my good scissors out, the ones that I don't allow anybody to cut paper with. These are a bit tight a bit blunt rather. So we've got all this now. So now we need to finish this. So the best way to finish this is to put some bias binding on it, which is what I did last year. But before I need to trim a little bit. I could leave it as white, but just to make it all equal. So I'll give it a certain width.
Would you rather use ordinary scissors?
Well, I could do because this is very thick. I could really leave it like that, you know, cut them short.
And just stitch it, leave it with a pinked edge.
Yeah, a cut edge, so I would...
Do a pinked edge and just stitch just inside it, so
Yes.
you don't have to put the bias binding on.
Ah, yeah, I wouldn't have to do that.
Save time.
Yeah, it would.
But now you've cut that.
I'll try it, because I haven't thought of that. It's a very good idea. You just can't do too many layers at once. Those pinking shears are not for thick fabric. You're full of good ideas. I'll have to work on pay raises. This is really not the easiest. Let's do one at a time. Right, 1 edge is done. Now the other edge. You know, that is such a good idea. The box wouldn't last so long though. But why not? It wouldn't last long as in this would start fraying, but I don't know how long it would take to fray.
How long the top is going to last?
A month? I don't think it would fray in that time, but I'm thinking of the collectors who will want to collect these boxes. And the drawings. Now, I've got to put my zip foot on for that one.
The effort of changing it.
I know, time it, it will take ages. I think I'll put a real one on. Now, feet of the machine treadle. I could turn it off, but as long as my foot is not on it, it's fine. I know someone who's had her finger under there. I met her. She did a lot of sewing. So to tell that story has made me extra careful.
20 seconds.
My God, it's not even 15 seconds.
You're talking.
Well, yeah, I was, but still, it's a long time. When time is precious, time is money, isn't it? You know, that's a lot easier than what I was doing earlier. So we've got sun edge. Got to get rid of these things there. Now what we've not done, we've not put a continuum conceit label on it, which I should have put on earlier. Oh, it's coming with a label. That's my mon fil à bâtir. It shouldn't be here. Now, I've got to put that retrospectively. I did put them here last year. Then since this is not straight, we put it on the other side. Not on the flowers, because that hides the flowers, so... No, we put it here. No, we put it here. Because we want to show off the vintage look of $12.99 Australian dollars. What's good about this fabric is it gives me an idea where the straight line is.
If you left that open at the top, it would be a little pocket and you could put a sample chocolate in there.
Well, yes, I did think that. What I would have to do is sew this on another piece of fabric and then sew it properly so this doesn't come off and then make a little pocket. Yes, that's a very nice idea. A little gift. Because I did put a little gift in some of the boxes last year. Now, no, this is not what I want. I want ribbon. Which is not here. Look, I've got a ready-made ribbon. Doesn't really go with the colour though. So what I could do is buying some biodegradable ribbons or making some from here with that fabric, but that would be a bit thick, it will not slide very easily. Now I can do that with a pin like this, a needle, or I could do it with a safety pin, which is a bit quicker, and I just noticed some on the windowsill. I do with what I can see quickest. Without
Why is
having...
your safety pin quicker?
It is a little bit, yes. That one will be quicker because it's big, but often, because I haven't got a safety pin, they tend to undo and then they put the stick in there, and I'm there for ages trying to put it back on, and it's got a thread of the fabric. So I ought to invest in one with a little cap, really. I don't know why, I've never had one. I've seen people...
If you're making 40 of these...
Yeah, I should really. 45. 45 only. I'm not making any more after that. That's slippery. you know, even if it's an ugly fabric. I think the box result is quite nice, really. I've got to find the right place. This fabric has advantages. With soft fabric, it's really hard to get it to fold, and it goes in the wrong side of the fabric that's turned inside, inwards rather. Oh, don't lose the other end. Voila. This is a bit of a large box, really. Ah. Right. So this isn't the best like this. What I could have done is even...
what you did last year, you punched a hole and fed it through a hole.
Yes, you're right. I'd forgotten that, because this one hasn't got that, has it? The eyelids. Yes. I did, but I had to put the eyelid before sewing. Yes. That's why it was more elaborate last year. But in this case, without pinching the ribbon, that's a cheating way, isn't it? I like the eyelids, I like the look of them.
It's a lot of extra work.
Yeah, it was a lot of extra work, yes. See here, we've got threads that are going to come. I'd have to make a buttonhole, and that's... Oh no, look, I've managed to cut it. Never mind. So, this is what it looks like with the very thick, extra thick. It doesn't actually look extra thick from outside. And I suppose someone could use that when it would only be that tall. Maybe here, because it needs to meet in the middle. For putting toiletries or something like that, once I've eaten the chocolate. It's quite nice to have a bigger one, but then once... Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's bigger, does it? Because the chocolate is really pre-wrapped and then put into these boxes. Well, this is it. I'm very pleased with this experiment. And I think Jean-Louis Jonelle Duracolor is outstanding.
Oh.
Pardon?